What's squawking, Hawks?
Welcome back to the
Squad Pod. I'm Iyore.
And I'm Nezrin.
And we're your hosts for this episode.
Today, we'll be talking about some effects of the pandemic that we've experienced and also our education journey from our childhood and up to now. But before we begin, let's first geek out. Iyore, what have you been geeking out about today? Or in the past, recent past?
Well, something I've been geeking out about is I'm getting a new phone.
Oh my gosh, no way. Wait, I think we've already spoke about... Wait, no. Have we talked about this? I feel like you've told me you're gonna get a new phone, but...
No, I haven't.
No, you haven't?
No.
Because someone else I know is getting a new phone.
phone?
I mean, I guess with the new phones being released and
Right.
whatnot, that can happen. But what phone are you getting?
Thinking about the newest iPhone, you know?
Okay.
I want
Which
a new
number?
upgrade.
I can't keep track at this point.
Right. I think it's 13.
13?
Yes, that's the new one coming out, I think.
Okay.
And it comes in all colors. I'm really excited. I'm trying to get it in maybe yellow.
Yellow.
Yeah, that's my favorite
Yellow's
color.
really pretty.
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna look great.
What about you, Nezrin? What are you geeking out about today?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, so much has happened today. But I've told you this, but
Right.
everyone else doesn't know that I've had to switch cars with my mom and I today. It actually happened today. So we both drive Kias, but different colors, and we just switched it because my mom's like, she thinks that mine is like a bit too old now.
Right.
So we switched it and I'm in hers now, and I'm just really happy that I'm finally like used to using the dashboard and whatnot, because I don't know if you have Apple CarPlay or not, but that's like really complicated to use. But I figured it out, right? So I was able to work it to the point where I'm able to play my music that I want from YouTube and also be able to look at the GPS on the dashboard.
Really?
Yeah, and once I figured that out, I was like so excited because the first song that came up within my driving playlist was this vintage college music, right? I think it's called School's In, but oh my gosh, I fell in love with it because I was like so joyed that I can finally my car is working the right way it's supposed to, and it's just this vintage music is playing, and also the surroundings, Iyore. It was just like so many beautiful trees, and it was just like all fall vibrant colors. So the fact that this chooses to play right in that moment, this vintage music, it just felt magical.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And also another thing I guess I'm geeking out about is, again, with the vintage music, I've been having a pretty rough week, I'd say, the past few weeks. And just today I was able to relax when I hopped in the shower and I lit a candle, a nice autumn scented candle.
Yes.
And my mom also got these new what do you call them? Like shower curtains.
Oh.
And the design is so pretty. It's so wholesome. It's like a bunch of gnomes, right? With like fall leaves, and it's just orange and brown. It's so pretty. So imagine this, like you're just taking a nice warm shower and you have this fall candle playing and vintage music in the background, and you're just enjoying it.
Ooh,
It's so
like
nice.
a getaway, like a vacation, you know?
Exactly, within the vicinity of your own home.
Right.
So I highly recommend to our wonderful listeners out there that if you're looking for, like Iyore said, a nice little getaway, just put on a nice candle and take like a bubble bath or something.
Yes.
And also music is key.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
Maybe some tropical music, you know?
Oh yeah, you could do tropical music. Yeah, if during like the summertime or whenever you're feeling like it, honestly.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah. And as I said, I have been having a tough time, and one reason for that, and I needed like that getaway, is because recently a really close family friend of mine has suddenly passed away. His name is Daniel, and he was only 41 years old, and he passed away all of a sudden due to COVID. So it was really, like I said, I keep saying sudden, and it really was. Like, it was totally off guard and unexpected, and it really shook our family and those who knew him, right? And for that, he was born in Illinois, and so we actually flew out there. My mom, her boyfriend, and my sister and I. We flew out to Illinois, Princeton, I believe, but just to like attend the funeral service. And this was the first time I attended a open casket.
Wow.
And it was really intense, like
Mm-hmm.
seeing someone who's so lively, lifeless. Right. That's what my mom's boyfriend described it as. Like, I can't even imagine seeing like a lively person lifeless. And that really stuck with me, that line. It's just because you can't expect that.
Right.
So that was just really, really difficult. But you know what? It was necessary.
Right.
I'd say it was necessary because when I went to that funeral service, it just changed my life.
Wow.
You know?
How so?
Yeah, that's a great question. How so? I need to think about that for a bit. Well, I guess I really began to appreciate life more.
Wow.
Yeah, I began to appreciate life more when I witnessed celebrating someone else's death.
Right.
Right? Because I even, like, I wrote this in my eulogy for Daniel, but it's, death is a new beginning for both sides. It's, someone's moving on to a different realm.
Right.
Well, I spiritually believe that
Right.
they would. And while the people who are grieving and mourning, they are reflecting and experiencing like new perspectives, new thoughts in this moment of reflection on like how we're using our time wisely, right? So that's what this funeral has taught me, that it's so important to cherish every moment with your loved ones and also live each moment as if it's like your last.
Right. And I feel like a lot of people do not do that, And when you go to funerals or, you just see someone so close to it, shows like, wow, they were here just a second ago. Now they're gone. Life is just, it's precious. You could be gone just like that, Utilize your time. Do things that make you happy, Cherish the moments and the memories and, be in people's lives that you really, truly want to be in,
Absolutely. And what's also interesting? It's, while we were going to, okay, here's the thing. I got like some kind of culture shock when I went from California to Chicago.
Right.
And then like some deeper part of Illinois. It was different. And one primary example of that is, first of all, the nature. It's so beautiful out there in Illinois. Like, when you think of vintage fall homes,
right,
that Illinois is the first thing that comes up to my mind now. It's just, like, so vibrant there, and it's just, like, leaves are falling, and it's so lush and green with that mixture of those different colored leaves. It's just
I love that.
So beautiful. It's gorgeous. And also another thing that gave me like a culture shock was while we were going to the cemetery to like witness the I guess the pre-burial, right? And we had to all go in line, all the cars of the families and friends of Daniel behind the hearse, right? And as we were going, I noticed that everyone started, like, all the bystanders and ongoing passengers and whatnot, they pulled aside to the road.
Wow.
And they stopped, right? And at first I was like, oh my gosh, that's interesting. But then I remembered in one of my English classes at Las Positas, we actually had to read this memoir called Hillbilly Elegy, written by J.D. Vance. And over there, Mr. Vance actually includes something here, where this following passage, and he says here, why, I'd asked my grandma, whom we all called Mama, why did everyone stop for the passing hearse? And Mama says, because, honey, we're hill people, and we respect our dead. Oh. It was from this passage, before attending the funeral service, when I learned that people do that.
Right.
Like, they actually stop by when a hearse passes by, and just stop their cars and just wait until all the cars associated with the hearse and the passing family have gone by.
Wow. I've never seen that in California at all.
No, and that's great that you bring that up because, interesting, really, because I haven't seen that either.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just, it really was a moment of culture shock for me, because I'm like, I've never seen people do that in California, like ambulances.
Right.
Yes.
Right, definitely. But I've even noticed now with ambulances, like, more people are not, moving to their right. Most people are just driving. They don't care. And they don't consider, like, who's in there, who they're going to save. Like, that's a life,
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see Illinois', how they deal with hearses as well as, like, ambulance.
Yeah,
It must be really amazing.
And what I do remember recalling and mentioning to my family back in the car when this all was happening in front of us, it's like, stopping and waiting for a hearse is just, that right there is a moment of reflection.
Yes,
it's
definitely.
a moment of reflection, because you're forced to stand by on the side of the road and watch this hearse pass by, and all the associated family and friends of this person who have just passed away.
Right.
And that really gets you thinking, what am I doing with my life?
Yes.
Am I using my time wisely?
Yes.
Am I cherishing, like I said, cherishing moments with my loved ones?
Yeah, definitely, because even thinking about that, like, how many people were behind, makes people start thinking, wow, this person was truly loved, People only go to funerals when they really have love for that person, Makes them think, am I treating the people I supposedly love right? How do they feel? When they think of me, what's the first thing that comes to mind? So it's really interesting.
Exactly. Seeing all those people that were associated with this person that has passed away, it's really interesting how one person can bring a community together.
Right.
Some related people and not related people either, all in the same place and time to celebrate this person's passing. And that brings me on to my next point. Something else I noticed at this funeral service was like this form of like this community that was suddenly formed as we all grieve together. Right. And I'd like to go deep into that, along with some superstitious things I've noticed. So, yeah, I think we should actually talk about that right now.